gonna turn that down a little bit more. I don't know why some songs in here are like ridiculously low and others aren't. So let's see if that's a little bit better. Oh, it still looks pretty high. There we go. It's just ambiance anyway, so it's not really like a song or anything. So let's get back to playing. I'm gonna put this on a really short speed and let it go. So yesterday we started. We got some small amount of progress for this place, so not doing too bad. We did unfortunately lose Roberti the blacksmith yesterday, so yeah. So we're gonna go back into it, hopefully not die. We only lost, what, 10-15 people yesterday? So, not bad in the grand scheme of things. It wasn't the entirety of the village, so. This is gonna be a very short stream, too. I'm only gonna be around until about noon. There's a couple of things that I have to do. I have to make some phone calls. And just get some general life stuff together, so. We will work a little bit on here. It's early autumn in our 10th year, so we're doing pretty good. We haven't lost too many people. Our crops are starting to get harvested, which is really nice. Still waiting for the builder to go and remove this. There we go. So we were saying about adding the tavern. I want to see about potentially making another crop field. We're short by 1, so it's supposed to be 8 by 15, but I suppose we could do a little bit shorter. So we'll do beans here as well, and we will pause the work on it. So now we'll just have a whole bunch of crop fields over here. So, what we were also going to try and do is probably extend a couple more of the houses around and just get some more places for people. Okay, and then the storage barn is 100% full. Let's see, and our tailor has stopped, so we do have some clothes, so I suppose we can get rid of that for now and have another laborer. The blacksmith is hard at work, which is good because we have no tools, so... And our plum trees are doing a little better after I accidentally hit cut on them and tore them all out, so... Totally my fault. We're also waiting on the quarry still. Looks like we still need logs, so let's queue up for a couple of the farmers that are going to be bored to come and take down some trees for us. There are already a couple. I'd also like to not take down the trees in their realm of area because they're going to be taking those down anyway. So we have a couple of things over here. Perfect. Let's set it at 5, make it a little bit faster. And a child named Maury was born. Welcome, Maury. And the reserve of firewood is low once again. So let's get that back up and started now that we don't need the tailor. Should have some logs here pretty soon. Not exactly sure. Oh, and then a child named Elsie. Logs and tools are low again, but it looks like some tools are getting taken out. For some reason, this spot is not being harvested. I just set 2 over here. Child named Kenzie. I'll slow it down a little. I wish there was like a 3 speed. It just goes straight from 1 to 5, 10. So we'll let them get to work. So now that there's 2 of them harvesting it. We should be able to get all of this taken care of before winter hits. It's starting to get cold now. So we should be able to survive another winter, fingers crossed. Oh, and the snow is killing some of these fields. Oh, visiting the herbalist. I was like, where's the other farmer? Okay, we hit our limit for food, so I think let's raise it again. I think 10,000 should be fine instead. And then we'll set this one to work next year. And there we are. Docks are stopped. There we go. So we're not really worried about food at this point. I was saying that last time before we ended. Now it looks like it's just resources that are the issue. So I think what we might need to do is we might need to place another forester lodge. I think maybe over in this area would probably be good. Just somewhere nearby. Especially since the stockpile is over here, so I think that's part of the issue. So I was wondering if maybe we should add another stockpile, but then it'll also remove some of the places for the herbalist, the gatherer, the hunting cabin, so I think instead placing a little foresting spot over here would probably be easier. So let's see if we could fit that in here. Okay, it looks like it would just fit. So let's instead try over here. So this will actually fill in some of our areas too. This place here. I do still want to work on the quarry first, so we will let that go. And then I've been just wondering if we'd be able to place a mine over here. Does not appear as if this little hill is going to have the ability to have a mine. I think it's just far too small. Okay. Wanted to check that before we place anything else around. So we have the quarry being started. Now it just needs built. Did also want to see about some of these houses. They are freezing, unfortunately. As I'd say, we could probably see about queuing up a couple more. We do have some new children. We do also have quite a few people that are just far too old that'll probably keel off here pretty soon. Like Mary Lynn here is 63 and all by herself. We have Anne Twain and Ardeen. There's some of our original people. They should be kicking it pretty soon. But then some of these children that we have should be able to fill in some of those gaps. As long as everyone around here should have at least 2 children, we should be alright. And then those children have more children, and then it should, over time, repopulate. So yeah, once I think Venetia the farmer is probably going to be the next to go. And maybe then we can see if Xandon will move in with Mary Lynn, maybe? Okay, and then this Javardi is cold. We go. No longer freezing. Just went to somebody's house, just stood there. Went, hey, I'm cold, let me in. This game can be a little bit ridiculous sometimes. It wasn't even this house. Okay, where is our builder? It says you're working, but what are you doing over here? Oh, might have been heading to the herbalist. Okay, we're starting to get some logs. Once the quarry is built, I'll go ahead and start up the Forester Lodge. And I think we'll just have this one only planting for now. I'm not as worried anymore about this little area, like their fishing village that we were going to do over here. I could still wait a little bit. It's going to be awkward to build over here anyway. It's pretty much just going to be another trader and a couple of houses, I think. Maybe a hunting cabin. You came over, smacked it twice, and then you left. You did one build. Why didn't you just eat before you went over there? On the bright side, our farmers are actually going around and picking up some of the resources. It is also pretty hard because it is so snowy. There we go. Much better job, builder. And Maury the child, who is 1 year old, is over here hanging out in the quarry. So, good job. I think you should go play in the graveyard instead. Okay, so now we're at 59%. Let's set that over here so we can see it. Thankfully it's late winter. We should be able to have the farmers go back to work here pretty soon and it not be as cold. So, okay, and we have the blacksmith taking most of the wood right now. I think we should probably go ahead and wait on that. And instead let the woodcutter get to work. I've never realized this, but it looks like there's little question marks on all of his little chopping spots. Okay, so now we do actually have some firewood. So now the vendor should be taking those, and then everybody should be grabbing that. Quite a few cold houses. Now that means also that we have 2 laborers, so I do also want to get Town Hall up and running just so we can try and get some nomads to show up. Unfortunately, right now we are really at a standstill in terms of people. So I'm sure we're probably only going to have one person over here working at the quarry for stone. But we will be able to take one person from the existing Forester Lodge and just place them over here. And now it is early spring. Oh, and we have one less cow over here, so fairly soon we should be able to get rid of this pasture as well. Maybe. No. I was going to say we'd be able to add another industry here or a house. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be an industry. Well, we could potentially just add another orchard. Looking pretty good. And how is the quarry doing? We are at 72%. Waiting for a couple more of these older citizens to kick it off here pretty soon. Let's see, we have 5 students, so those ones should be actually joining the workforce here fairly soon as well. And our chapel is doing nice, and we still only have 2 graves, so I'm quite happy with that. And then the deer, for some reason, are all hanging out over here. So I think if we do end up going this way, that I would want to put a, like, hunting lodge over here, just to cover that. Perfect. Norenta Lee has become an adult and is now a laborer. Don't worry, you will be joining the quarry here fairly soon, and 80%. So we're about halfway through the buildings phase. Let's see if we could temporarily set another builder. So we have Darley and we have Thereford. Thereford is going to work. Oh, now we have Yvonne instead. Everyone keeps changing jobs, but now we should be able to have 2 of them. Okay, because Darley is the laborer. That's what happened. I guess she just wanted to wander around. And then we will take off one of the builders, place them as the quarry inspector, I suppose. And then we could start working on the Forester Lodge. Town Hall would be nice, but I don't think we have as much stone as we need, so... the Forester Lodge, on the other hand, only needs 12. And now we do actually have quite a few logs. Our Forester Lodge is actually probably working now. Wonder if we'd be able to place a small... Let's try it. A small little stockpile over here, just so they don't have to walk as far. Smallest we can put. Okay, we could do a 5x2. Yeah, let's do a 5x2 just so we can have something. So pretty much we just have to remove 1 tree. Alright, and the quarry is set. Let's remove a builder and let's place 1 person in the quarry. Oh, Venetia the farmer has died of old age. Good job. So let's see. Okay, so Marilyn and Zandon did indeed move in with each other. So now Evan and Norenta Lee are now in their own little house of their own. So perfect. So pretty much we have space for 1 more person at this point. All the rest are students. Yes, all the rest are students. We're going to wait on them. We do need the next generation to start procreating. So right now we only have Benny, who is the only one. Everyone else is still a child or a student. So, doing fairly well. The rest are just children. Thank you, Venetia, for all of your help. Now we have Andro, who is working as our stonecutter. Oh, and we have the cleric as well, who is picking up resources, so that's very nice. Thank you, Yvonne. I'm glad that you have now become the cleric. I don't know how they've decided that. You were just a laborer, and then a builder, and then a farmer. We'll go with that. Great, so that should start replenishing our stockpile, which should be able to go over here as well. So with that, let's get started on this Forester Lodge. It's Darlee again. Darlia? Okay, so we've pruned back some of these trees as well. Let's take a look. We're going to fairly soon need some more clothes as well. We need a couple of these students to get older here pretty soon. Okay, we have one that is 16, another that is 16. Okay, so we have 3 that are 16 that should be able to join the workforce fairly soon. Good, and we're starting to fix our firewood problem. Perfect, Verlina has become an adult and is now a laborer. Thank you. Shall have you become the tailor. And we will just have you swap back and forth with the blacksmith. And we are still doing fairly well. Oh, Marlin, the farmer, has died of old age. So now Xandon is all by himself. So now we have, unfortunately, no laborers. So we will just have to watch. But now they have their own graves. They will be able to stick around in our hearts. Okay, we need these 2 to start having children. We definitely need this Forester Lodge up and running. And then we definitely need the Town Hall just so we could potentially get some nomads. Otherwise this entire town is going to get very old and we will not have anyone to replace anyone, so... Where are you, builder? Oh, visiting the herbalist. Is now getting something to eat. Thank you for actually eating, for heading all the way out to the work site, smacking it once, and then going to get something to eat. Okay, fairly soon this cow should unfortunately kick it. And then once we have that, we can actually remove the farmer, like herdsman, is what they call it. We can have the herdsman removed and start working in the normal workforce instead of taking care of a single cow. Sometimes the cows just do not procreate. Perfect. Is that Lynn? Line. Line has become an adult and is now a laborer. So now we do have somebody to replace anyone. Oh. Darlee is once again our laborer. Xandon is finding tools. And Twain. Okay, so a lot of our farmers are actually some of our older population. 32, 19, 17, 64, 58, 34. So we do have to keep watch of that, otherwise we'll have to turn off a couple of farms. Michi the hunter. Warden is working as the woodcutter. We do need a lot more firewood. Paul is working as a forester, taking down some trees. Let's see, did that stockpile help at all? Yes, it does actually have some logs in it, so it's gonna fill up pretty quickly, but thankfully we shouldn't have too much. It should be just pretty much logs at this point. All the rest, which is food items, can actually go up here into the storage barn, which is starting to get very full. Let's see about the other one. Okay, that one is 7% full, so we might actually be able to have some of these beans instead go over to this storage barn. Oh good, and our Forester Lodge is coming along pretty well. We could also remove a vendor or two. I do have 3 over there. It's usually good to have just a couple in there. Reserve of firewood is low. Imani has become a student, and a child named Amari Beth was born. Was that these two? Yes. So Evan and Narenta Lee finally had their children. It's just such a peaceful and serene game. It's one of my favorites. It's very easy to min-max a lot of it, which I think adds a lot to some of the replayability for it. Because then you'll have issues like, you know, strategic resources and things like that, because we're experiencing now. We do actually need some more tools, so let's go ahead and remove the tailor and work the blacksmith instead. And we're waiting on our builder. Zandon is coming back to work as well. Very hard at work. I'm very proud of him. Now that he is living alone and by himself. Once he clears out, unfortunately, we will actually have some more spaces for some of these fairly young couples. Let's see, taking a look, so that will need iron, it'll still need stone. Unfortunately, we only have one person working the quarry. Let's actually take away a vendor, and let's add another person to the quarry. And there we go. Now the Forester Lodge is all set. So instead of cutting down trees, please only plant them. And tools are low. We are working on that. And we have very little medicine. We might need to set another herbalist up. Maybe across the way would probably be better. Oh, perfect. We can actually empty this pasture. Send that cow over to that one. And hopefully get these two to instead work over here. So let's remove you. Now that that is over. And let's remove this whole structure. Perfect, and we're starting to get a couple of trees. Lorleanne has become an adult and is now a laborer as well. So that's perfect. I would like a fourth person between the two Forester Lodges. Alright, the village of Turkey is actually doing pretty well. Oh good, we have quite a few trees being planted now. Oh, why is Giovanni idling? Have you gone to stand at a well? You seem fairly happy. I'm not sure exactly why you're idling. Yes, indeed, going straight. Okay, so they do go and idle at the wells. So I'm wondering if we should place another one. I'm not sure why she skipped that one. Or this one, and instead walked all the way over to there. The AI pathing is a little bit weird. But we should have some stone coming in then, so I will set the builder to come and work on the town hall. Which also probably means that we will need a boarding house. So let's see about adding that. Would probably be better to add it over here. It will take away a couple of spots for houses, but it is also next to the hospital. A lot of the nomads do unfortunately bring diseases with them. Okay, and then that was for the mine. We don't need any food yet. And it is already autumn, and we are almost at our limit for food again. And now that other pasture has been removed. Oh. Michi the hunter has died of old age. I thought Zandon would have been next. But okay. So now we have Mariki and Verlina in their own house. And the reserve of stone is low once again. That's okay, now we have the quarry. Okay, so we were saying to instead place an orchard over here. Let's place a little one. And let's have plums. So we'll have to set another farmer. However, let's pause work on there. And let's wait until next year. And there we go. We are finally repopulating all of the trees that we managed to clear out in this entire area. Humans are a plague on the earth. It's just rip out every single tree. Okay, the reserve of logs is low once again. We did remove one person from this existing forester lodge that was cutting them down, so it's probably going to be a little bit off for a little bit while we wait for some of these to grow. And it looks as if we have a relatively steady stream of stone. Let's actually pause the boarding house for now. I would like all of that stone to instead go to the town hall first. We do still have a lot of iron, which would be great for the town hall. Because apparently they made it out of iron, as opposed to stone. And all of the deer are coming back once again. Perfect. So we didn't get the entirety of our harvest this year. We did get quite a bit of it. And our cows are doing fairly well. I hope the two of them will have another cow. If not, then that'll be fine. We could just go ahead and get rid of all of the cows entirely. And there we are. Now it is cold, it is snowing. Our woodcutter is working. slowly, but working. It actually looks like now we have enough tools, so let's go ahead and remove the blacksmith for now. We don't want to use all of the logs, and then we'll actually now have 2 laborers. So let's place another one at the vendor market again, to be able to hopefully clear out this storage barn. And there we go, we have some new trees being planted. We'll wait a couple of years before we start having any of those trees being cut down as well. And firewood is low again. I would like to up some of the production limits for the tools and the clothes at some point, just so we won't have to keep turning it on and off. I'm not sure for the better clothing what it is. Better clothing is leather and wool. Unfortunately, we do not have sheep. Okay, and one of the cows unfortunately did die. Let's actually get rid of them. Not much that we could do with this. So we might as well just get rid of them. So that'll be the end of our cattle. So unless we wanted to purchase sheep at a later time, I really don't see the point of getting more of those. It usually ends up just killing off itself, so. Perfect, and there's so many deer over there. And over here. Go to the trees! There's trees over there. Okay, perfect. So now that is clear. So let's remove our last herdsman. And let's remove this structure. Okay, Hilarion is now our builder. So we do have our town hall being worked on. We still need stone. Let's actually set for some of this stone to get gathered by our farmers while they are bored for the winter. Oh, Mariki has become an adult and is now a laborer. I thought you were already... Okay. I guess Mariki the student moved out while still a student. Let's see, and then we have Antoine and Ardeen finally here. Okay, we have Lean the vendor, who needs a house, along with the hunter. I think Benny just never wants to leave the house. Okay, so Zandon, after losing 2 other wives recently, moved in with Michelle. So good to know that some of the students will actually still move out. Let's actually set for another house to be built. This should aid in some of our issues, and then we should actually be able to place a road over here as well. And going over to the quarry. And that should help with some of our slowness. Okay, 2 children, a child named Reynardo, and then a child named Ernesta. Ernesta? Ernestia. Good, we need have everyone have at least 1 or 2 children. Preferably 3. Okay, and then we also have Paul, and we have Adis over here. And our stone is low again. We have Edmundo and Francesca. Okay, so we have a couple of people over here in this house, so building another house will be helpful. Let's pause it, however. I would like the boarding house worked on instead. After Town Hall, so that should take the majority of the logs over to there. Since it does need 100 logs. As evidenced by the fact that logs are once again low. It is the middle of winter, so I don't think that the farmers would be able to get all of the stone and all of the trees, so let's just stick with the stone. Jarvid has become a student as well. So we're getting there. We only need approximately 9 more stone. Oh, but some of the farmers are dropping them off. Since we have plenty of laborers, let's go ahead and set a second builder. Since we do have 2 things that are currently being built. And 2 more stone, and then that should be finished. Perfect, so now that can start getting built. And both of our builders are immediately heading over so that they can work. And it looks as if some of our workers are dropping off over at the boarding house now. Perfect, so that'll take a minute. Let's set that over here. It is late winter, so our farmers should be going back to work here pretty soon. We are getting low on clothes again. Let's set up a tailor. We are completely out of firewood. Let's actually remove this structure. Since we did just remove the pasture, I actually want to extend out that orchard to be the entirety. And let's set that as plums. We'll set it as non-working for now. I think we have plenty of food. Once we have more of a population, we can always turn it back on. I would also like a second well over here just in case. It should also help with some of our idling issues. I will pause it, however. We don't really have the amount of stone. Rather go towards the boarding house. But it'll be a good thing for later. I cannot place a well there. The wells are good for idling, but they're also useful for fires. We did already have our own fire yesterday. Okay, so our farmers should be getting to work. And our builders are working. So we have Andro and Hilarion. And some of our people are cold. Roll and Darley are not having any more kids, it looks like. So we do desperately need this town hall to get built. focusing on this one. Let's actually pause it for now then. Let's have the builders work solely on this. Good job, Hilarion. We have the child Maury over here, we have the child Reynardo, and Jarvid did become a student, so perfect. Oh, and Laureline is now the cleric at 20 years old. Okay, we're at 70% completion. We do need some more logs. Let's actually only have one person working over here for now, planting trees. Let's instead have 3 people chopping trees over at the other Forester Lodge. Oh good, and our crops are coming in very nicely. Now that our orchard is actually gathering some fruit, I think it should be a little bit better as well. Oh, Ari the fisherman has died of old age, so Darley has replaced Ari as the fisherman. So now we actually have too few laborers. Let's go ahead and remove one of the vendors. A child named Luann Marie? Luann Murray? Luann Murray. Oh, and Paul the Forester has now died of old age. Okay, so now we just have Adis the physician who's in this house all by herself. So we are very, very quickly going to lose a majority of our population as they get older. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to remove another one of the vendors. And I believe we will remove the tailor for now. Since now we have 10 clothes, that should be enough for now. Still working on Town Hall. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is very pretty, I just don't understand why it needed 48 iron. That did clear out a lot of our iron stocks as well. Okay, and then these trees would be out of the realm of the sphere of influence. I don't even know what you would call that. I suppose sphere of influence would probably be the best. Okay, so our one storage barn is still completely full. Okay, 95. And 6. I'll also need to rearrange some of my windows once there's the town hall. Some of these will actually become redundant windows, so then I could just close out a couple of them. Okay, logs are once again low. Now we have 3 people working on those. Once we are building less, it should actually be a little bit easier to stockpile some of these resources as well. And there we are. So Town Hall So let's remove this, and we can remove this. So now we should actually be able to see all of these. These are all going to be in a much easier to use UI, as opposed to having multiple of these open. So let's fix Town Hall here. And then we can place the event log here. So there we are. We have a production limit for 10,000 for food, especially since now we won't have the cattle. A lot of our beans are just going to have to work throughout the year. So we will just have essentially fish and beans and maybe a couple of deer. Let's see, we currently have no textiles. I think placing another hunting lodge over here would probably be worthwhile, at least just for these deer. Keep wandering in this area. There seems to be now 3 groups of them, plus one little random one. So yeah, our village is coming along pretty well. You know, that's a good question. So I was looking at some of the numbers. Apparently the view count, because now it says I have 3 viewers, it seems like I always permanently have 1 viewer. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure if that's a bot. I'm not sure if that's like an actual number, if they do that. But it says it's 3, so apparently the ones that are in chat are usually going to be bots and things like that. In order for it to count as a viewer, the tab needs to be open. It needs to be unmuted in the Twitch. No, Nightbot does not count. It needs to be unmuted in the little horn that's on the actual player. So if you have the tab open, you're not tabbed out, and your video isn't muted, it counts as a view proper. So it doesn't even matter if you're in chat or not. So like you can minimize the chat screen. But as long as you have that tab, and it's not like in a background, they count you as a viewer. I think it's just vague in general because of the amount of bots. I tried removing a couple of them. I know there's a few in particular that I went to their pages to try and remove and it just will not. So I tried blocking them and it doesn't work either, so I think they're just permanently there. So I don't know if that's just a Twitch thing, I don't know if that's something else, so. You see now it went down to 2 viewers, so I'm not exactly sure what it is, so I just ignore it for the most part. Okay, now that we have this up and running, let's start on the boarding house. We currently have 55 iron, not a lot of stone. Thankfully this only needs logs and stone, so. Exactly, so that's why it's usually just a quiet chat in here. So I'm fine with that, so I just pretend like there's 15,000 people here. Oh, and a child named Lynette was born as well. Perfect. Oh no, and Ardeen the farmer has died of old age. So does that mean we have a new spot? We do, so ranked and Lean have moved in, so Lean is now the physician, so. Oh, that was weird. 1 second. My entire dashboard just freaked out. That was weird. The stream still shows fine. The entirety of my dashboard just reloaded itself. I don't know why. Twitch knew that we were talking about numbers and it freaked out and I was like, oh no, they know the secret. They know that there's just a whole bunch of bots. So how are we doing? Ooh, we're doing really terrible on logs and stone. It is currently summer though. Yeah, summer. Okay, so we're 61% educated. As some more people are actually dying off, we should actually get that number going up. Since we have actually taught all of our children. Except for when we lost 15 people. How did that tree fall over? I think it just naturally did. I don't think there's anybody over there. Okay, let's see. So we have 8 clothes. We have 6 tools. It's not a lot. I'm more worried about the tools, so let's work the blacksmith. Let's actually remove a builder just in case. They'll still help the builder in general. Have a couple of things queued up. Plenty of stone there. I think for next season, because of the amount of food that we currently have, I think I want to pause just one of these crop fields. Well, hello! I know, it has been quite a while. So we'll start getting some of those actually harvested. And it looks like our woodcutter is upset because there is once again no logs, so. But good, so we should have the boarding house here soon pretty well. We've been doing pretty well over here. I picked up streaming again. I quit my terrible, terrible job after I had a terrible health scare. So once we got the house, I was like, well, now I can pursue my fun endeavors again, so I came back. So it's been really nice, especially now because I'm not working with at-risk children anymore, which was part of the reason why I had to leave, so it's actually quite nice. See how it. Oh! And Zandon, the herbalist, has finally died. So Darley has replaced the herbalist. Now we have no laborers, so let's go ahead and remove. Oh no, we don't have as many vendors either. Okay, let's remove a stone cutter. Oh, and I cleared out. Let's put that back. I do that a lot. So now our education has actually gone down. We did have an entire generation that were uneducated, so yeah, so it's been nice. It's nice coming back. So we're going to be doing a lot of chill games, a lot of simulation things. I'm not doing this with the expectation of like really doing anything. This is mainly just for myself. I've actually been out of work since like April now, so yeah, my office was pretty chill too. I would actually sit pretty much all day and just have like Twitch going on in the background. So I was still around, but obviously I couldn't chat. So it was quite out there, I guess. Just being able to hear it but then not, like, participating in chat, so I kind of missed it. So this was, like, my way of coming back, I guess? Let's see. What can we set up instead? So now we're starting to get some tools back. Uh-oh, who died? And Twain the vendor has died of old age. Oh no, we're losing everyone. Oh no. I won't. Okay, I think we're gonna have to remove one of the foresters, unfortunately. Slowly but surely, everybody's gonna get killed. At least we're not starving this time. It'll just be a completely empty village with like 10,000 food. Yeah, so I think next year, let's turn off one of these gigantic crop fields. I don't think right now we need the amount of food for the little amount of people that we have, so. Let's see, because then I think next we'd have to probably turn off... Oh, I'd hate to turn off one of the forester lodges. But if we turn this one off, we do have some trees already growing, so... Let's see, because then we do still have these fishing docks that we were going to build. Perfect. Herenkt has become an adult and is now working as a laborer, and a child named Genzer was born. So perfect. And I was surprised you even still have the old Christmas cards. That was what, 2015, 2016? That is a very long time ago. I think I ended up making like 60 or so of them at one point. See, Mori has become a student. I actually probably still have those now that I think about it. Probably somewhere buried on this computer. I ended up having to get rid of that computer, but I ended up taking out the hard drive, so now this computer actually has about 4 or 5 hard drives. And I have one specifically just for videos and things like that, so... It was kind of nice doing that, so then if one dies, then I only lose like one portion of something versus the next, versus the next, versus the next. So, haven't had any issues with the computer now because of it. It was a far cry from back then when I had the computer that just refused to turn on. And I was playing bingo with Windows 10 errors, so... Perfect, so we have some logs being filtered over to here. Which is actually going to be difficult with the tools. Now we don't need those. We'll keep the iron there. How are we on clothes? Okay, clothes were okay. So let's hold off on that. Let's instead have an extra laborer. Now we can actually replace the forester that we took, and we can replace one of the vendors. And I closed out of it again. Stay. I wish you could... Okay, we have the toggle pinning. I wish you could have it where you can't close it. That's what I want. Okay, and logs are low again. Okay, so we've hit our max for food. So let's actually up that so that they will continue to harvest. Okay, and then Kenzie has become a student. So let's see. For some reason one of these is taking 2. Which one? This one. Let's stop work on this one for next year. so hopefully this should clear out some of the harvestables. Ah, this one, okay. So we only need one over here. We don't need two. Actually, we should take two over to this one. Let's remove work on that one. Let's see. Yes, perfect. This one has the most. I'd rather this one get cleared out. It is currently late autumn, so it should be starting to get cold anyway. And then we'll end up losing the harvest anyway, so. Well, it doesn't help that one is all the way on the other side over at the quarry. Okay, and then firewood is low once again. Is coming back, thankfully. Henrik, though, is getting something to eat. Okay, who are you and why are you upset? Okay. We just have too many farmers, so let's remove him. I wonder if we could get 3 over here to help. One is visiting the herbalist anyway. And a child named Savino was born. Perfect. Okay, and then we still have these ones. I'm not as worried about these ones if these get lost, but this one has 39% of it still. Perfect. How are we doing with this boarding house? So we still need, looks like a couple of logs. And a couple of stone. I wonder if we could set some more stone to be taken care of by our farmers. So let's take care of that. And maybe a couple more trees. There really isn't a lot. I've been clearing out the majority of it. But okay, so it's early winter. What is the temperature? Okay, so this one doesn't show the temperature anyway. It does look like everyone, though, is helping to clear out the rest of this harvest. Okay. So, at the start of next year, we'll have to take a look at what our food stock is after the winter, see just how many of these fields we really need. At this point, I think we just have way too much food. Does not look... Nope, we have no nomads just yet. Okay, so in terms of our population, we are steadily increasing, but also decreasing. So let's see, for the past 10 years... Okay. We did have that huge dip where everybody got killed off in the Great Starvation. But we are raising very slowly. Okay, let's see. Citizens in general. Okay, clothing is an issue as well. Education, however, is going up. Happiness has stayed about the same. And our health is going down, so I think we are going to have to do... I wonder if it's because we've been so cold. Okay, so let's look at the number of fields. Actually, it's winter. And we're still able to harvest the rest of the crops. It hasn't even snowed. That is very strange. But okay, now this is completely harvested. Let's actually remove and make that 4-1. So now we have 2 farmers that are confused, so let's remove them for now. So as of right now, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces for farmers for next year. We could take a look at the stock after the winter, see what we eat through. Until we get more people, I don't think we really need all of these crop fields. We can probably leave the Pharaoh for now. Oh, and Haimani has become an adult and is now a laborer, and a child named Ustani? Ustani. Sure, Ustani. Let's go with that. Okay, so we still need logs. This is a very rainy winter. Okay, let's harvest a couple more trees then with the farmers. And how are the trees doing over here? They're doing okay. We are starting to get some deer over here too. And how is our boarding house? Perfect. Okay, so we're starting to get some of the building underway. We do have 5 laborers. Let's go ahead and put another builder. And let's place let's do a hunter for now, trying to up our textiles. Since we are out of clothes. Whoops. Okay, let's work that. How are we doing on tools then as well? Tools, we're at 16, so that should be okay. And we'll still have 2 laborers. Let's place another vendor then. Actually, let's place one in the quarry. I didn't realize we only had 1 person getting a stone. Perfect. So we're still cold. Once we're done building the majority of these items that we have paused, we should actually start to keep an actual stock of our logs, so. These trees are fairly small, but I think we could start setting them to be cut as well. And for some reason we only have 1, let's place 2 there. And let's remove 1 from this forested lodge. Perfect, so now we'll have 2 in each. And we still have some iron stored at the blacksmith too. And now it is spring? Nope, late winter. I guess it just didn't snow this year. Global warming is real. At least in Turkey. Okay, and our cemetery is nowhere near full. So good. The vendors need more stuff, and the storage barn is still completely full. I think a little bit of both. I think if it ends up being my new career, I'd be okay with it. But I'm also not particularly gunning for it either. I'm not sure how to describe it. Like, right now we're comfortable enough that I don't even have to work. So, I don't want to put my full effort into something that's going to stress me out when I already completely stressed myself out to the point where I had to quit. So, I'd hate for, you know, this sort of thing to cause me so much stress again at that makes sense. So I'm not going to throw 100% into it, but I'm still going to make an effort to at least have fun with it, if that makes sense. That was originally one of the things that had happened as well, was trying to juggle this and a full-time career. I also didn't realize that the career itself was going to be slowly killing me, so it was a very unfortunate situation. Oh, perfect. So we should be able to get this house here pretty soon, especially because we have several people in some of these houses. But also we do have some of our aging population too that should be clearing out fairly soon. Benny still has never moved out of this house. And has just been living with their mother for 32 years. Are you just happy just being a lumberjack just at home for the rest of your life? Is that what you're doing? Okay, and then we still have Rianne who actually helped us out a lot. Should be also getting a lot older. Adis apparently is just gonna live for forever. I suppose that's what happens when you're the physician. And now I'm curious, where did he go? Oh good, and then a child named Gideon Drew. Good job, Gideon. Please grow older. I don't even know where Patrice went. Did Patrice die? Patrice who went through okay, here we go. Patrice is now a vendor. Patrice has gone through so many different jobs in this entire community. But perfect, okay. So taking a look, our current food is at 10,000, so I think let's just leave the 3 crop fields and then the 2 orchards instead. We could potentially set 1 farmer to this one. Yeah, I suppose let's do that. Let's remove 1 of the stone cutters. Where is it? Where'd it go? Perfect. We'll remove a stone cutter. We will instead work this. And up our farmers. It's gonna take about 2 years for this orchard to start producing anything, so at this point it would just be tree tending. So perfect, and now the boarding house is complete. So now any nomads that show up, if we have another fire and people are sad because they don't have a house, they should actually be able to go and move into there. So we had a couple of things queued up. Let's cycle through them, see what we need. There's a mine that would help with... Oh, and Michelle the hunter has died. Oh, now that means Benny has finally moved out! Well, Benny technically stayed put. But now is actually contributing to society instead of living with mom. Okay. So let's remove one of the builders, now we'll have a laborer again. Especially since we don't have anything queued up. Oh, we do have this well. Let's work on this little well. It doesn't need a lot of logs, and only a couple of stone, which we do have both. Also have some more food production. Let's wait on that. Let's instead work on this house. So we'll do the house and we'll do this little well here. Our little village is doing pretty well. So eventually we will need another stone cutter. But now we have actually 14 stone, it looks like. Great, let's see. So we have enough tools. Okay, so the tailor does not have any more textiles. And we're low on stone again. Oh good, and the stockpile is actually being very useful. Why is there firewood over here? Who cut firewood from here and decided to walk it all the way over here instead of to the stockpile right across the street? Okay. And our cemetery is starting to get full. We now have 11 graves. I kind of wish we would have had a cemetery back when we had the Great Starvation. It would have been filled. Good 20 or so graves. Now we are no longer starving. We have 9,000 food. Though I'm sure everyone is sick of beans and nothing else. I wonder if that's also lowering our health overall. Actually, there should be... we could do increased priority. That's not what I need. There's usually like a little encyclopedia that's supposed to help. I can't remember how to access it. That's just the area map. So what's really nice is we can actually go down south here once we start expanding, and then in this little area we are going to have to put a couple of bridges though. Oh, wrong set of keys. I don't know why they don't use the keyboard arrows. Okay, let's go ahead and speed up and let's see how we do after the harvest. Firewood is low again. But I think we're also starting to get some logs in. Yes, so we currently have 74 logs, so now we're just waiting on the woodcutter essentially to work. I would probably like to do a second woodcutter. Right now we do not have the workforce for it. Perfect, the woodcutter has logs again. Okay, and now we have 4 textiles. Taylor should be getting those here pretty soon, since we only have 2 sets of clothes. Perfect, looks like somebody just picked it up and took it over there. Yes, perfect. We actually have a very nicely functioning little village going. So let's see, over the past 2 years... Okay, we've produced way too much food, I think is our issue. So we used 8,000 in the past 2 years, and we produced 12,000 in the past 2 years. So we do have a good stockpile, but I think I should probably slow down some of that production, just in case. Sometimes you can get rats in your storage barns and things like that. Let's see what else. We've used a lot of logs. But I can't tell if that's actually used, like properly used for firewood, or if that was used in terms of construction as well. Oh, let's see. Amari Beth has become a student. Jarvid has now become an adult and is a laborer. And a child named Gertrude is born. Slow this down a little bit. Okay, so we're starting to get more educated over time, which is good. Okay, so stone cutter, perfect. And we have nothing for our builder to work on. Let's work on this little bridge that we had set over here. And then I actually kind of want to put a second bridge over here, just in case something happens to that first bridge. Actually, let's work on that one and let's pause the other one. We're not going to need the secondary area that I was thinking. We really have not been relying on our fish. good, and we have some venison over here, and 1,000 beans. Okay, and now we have no clothing stored. I'm hoping that means that everybody is just wearing clothes. Okay, they were just moving it over here. Phew. So I guess we'll just keep that up as more deer are being hunted. We should hopefully get more clothing. Let's see, we did say about placing a hunting cabin somewhere around over here. Let's actually place it... let's place it over here just so we're not encroaching too much on our little tree plot that we placed here. Just so we can potentially get some more textiles. Okay, logs are low. Especially because there's a whole herd of deer right here. I don't know why they all keep coming over here. There's not even any trees over here. Oh, Narenta Lee died during childbirth. Oh no. Okay, well, Dara Lee has become a farmer instead. Let's go ahead and stop working the orchard just in case. I don't think we have enough people. No, we don't. But hopefully within the next 2 years it should start growing anyway. A child named Jaren was born. Okay, and now Evan is going to be completely all by himself. Thank you, Narenta Lee, for having 2 kids before you died. Let's see, we have Elsie, we have Genzer. Okay, so we have a couple people that are 16 that should be able to join our workforce pretty soon. And we also do have some houses that don't have a lot of people in them either. Looks like Joanne is probably going to be all alone quite a while. Oh, and Helly is over here still living. Very proud. Adis the physician is now a hunter. I guess the secret to super long life is to be a physician and then go hunting. Okay, a child named Lanny was born as well. Oh good, they have 3 kids. Everyone else followed their example. 3 kids, perfect. 1 kid, 1 kid. 2 kids. You technically were going to have 3 kids, so I get it. And our graveyard is slowly filling up. We have space for another 100 graves. Perfect, and we should have a small harvest this year. Yes, so we still have room. Where did this farmer go? Oh, okay, Hilarion. Oh, and did that well get built? Yes, the well did get built. Okay, so now when they start idling, they should hopefully go to one of the 4 wells anywhere, instead of skipping the others. Okay, so our builder is currently hopefully working on this bridge. Yes, so we have the logs, we just need the stone. How are we doing with stone production? Okay, so we've only produced 15. A couple of our farmers should be bored, however, so let's see if we could set for some more stone to be collected. did not like that. Yeah, let's try and send them over this hill to try and collect over here. It's probably closer anyway. Perfect, and we have plenty of things stored, so we should actually have some more plums here pretty soon as well. That might actually raise our health for having a wide range of food. Our health is still around 4 hearts. Unfortunately, because a lot of this generation isn't educated either, a lot of our production is going to be slowed as well. And right now our population is only 44. Come on, we need some nomads. Come on, just a couple. Please. I have actually had it before where 20 people showed up and I had to turn them away because there was no way I'd be able to house all of them. Alright, Joannan. Your health is at 3, which is not great. So maybe, hopefully, that means you'll end up kicking it pretty soon. I mean, you're 76. You're in a house all by yourself. I have a number of people that can use that house. Please. I have quite a few students that would actually be able to move in there instead. Family of woodcutters over here. Well, we have a woodcutter and a stonecutter. Okay. A child named Leanne Marie. Now we're gonna have Luann Marie and Leanne Marie. Okay. It'll be like Helly and Healy all over again. Perfect. All of the crop is starting to get taken care of. It is currently early winter. And slowly progressing. And of course firewood is low right at the beginning of winter. Okay. But we should also be able to expand some of our housing into this area as well. And actually we could probably stick a couple of houses here in this little patch where the Forester Lodge doesn't hit. And our bridge is coming along. We're at 63%, so we should be able to start heading over there. Just so peaceful and serene. It always makes me cold though. I'm always freezing whenever I play this. Or when we were doing Bear and Breakfast. Which it looks like it did update, so I think maybe in the next couple of days we'll go back to it. Oh, and somehow this one bean is just hanging on. This singular bean. Oh, and Reynardo has become a student. so we have, is that Kenzie? Kenzie? Kennedy? Who should be hopefully joining our workforce pretty soon. We're still waiting on nomads to show up. How is our food count? We're still at 10,000, so I think we'll keep the same fields for next year and just leave those. It seems like we barely ate through that stock. Let's see, in the past year. So in the past year we produced 4,000 but only ate through 3,700, so. Suppose we could take this as an opportunity to stock up on some of our resources, especially logs and things like that, that once nomads do show up, that then we could just build a whole bunch of houses for them. I think I will have to set this orchard to be worked on though in order for it to produce fruit. Oh good, now that we've placed some of these trees, some more of the gatherables are actually showing up. We have healed nature. We were a pox on nature. But now that means that probably some of the deer will come back into this area instead of standing out in this random field. This is like the perfect working conditions. It's gently snowing, building a bridge, and then the snow stops. It's like a Thomas Kincaid painting. Oh, perfect. Now we have the bridge. So immediately, I want to collect all the stone over here and start clearing this little area. It's new resources. Okay. And we can collect that iron. Okay, and let's set this orchard to be worked. Let's actually remove... I suppose we could remove one of the vendors. And Ernestia's become a student. Perfect. And all the little houses are happily blowing smoke out of their chimneys, probably putting a hole in the ozone layer, which is probably why we had one winter where it did not snow. Perfect. Look. Oh no. Lottily? Lottily has become an adult and is now a laborer. I think that's Lottily. What do we currently need? We do already have 2 stone cutters, so let's replace one of the vendors. Still no nomads. The last time that I played this, I ended up getting like 3 or 4 groups in a row. So I think it just randomly just decides it. I don't think it's on like a pattern of any sort. That was a very short winter. It's already late winter and the snow's already gone, so... Oh, and tools are low. Let's set that to be worked again. Never mind, let's take out the vendor. Because now I feel like we permanently need the tailor. We can't keep switching back and forth. A child named Alejandria? Sure. But our population is going up over time. Let's see, over the past 2 years it's gone up. Over 25 years it's shot after the Great Starvation. Oh, and I closed out of it. And logs are low, that's fine. Actually, now our foresters should be able to cross the bridge now and get some of these very mature trees as well, so. And I keep closing out of Town Hall for some reason. And of course now all of the deer have slid over to the other side. And now they are gone from this side, all the way down here. So now I don't know if it would be worth it to place this little hunting cabin. Let's actually remove that. Let's instead place it over here. Let's place it on this side to get a couple more deer. Perfect. And then it's not too far to the next closest storage barn. Oh, and we are severely out of tools. Okay. But it looks like they are currently making tools. Perfect. Going to drop some off. So it looks like there's only a couple of people that really need them right now. So just 2. And of course now all the deer are back after I immediately removed the building. It's like they knew. Okay, tools are low once again, but now that means that everyone that needed tools should have them. No, unless these are additional ones. What are you guys doing to your tools? Ooh, Hilarion is actually starting to get up there in age. We may lose Hilarion pretty soon. How are we doing for firewood then? That's not even on here. Okay. Kinesi is an adult, and Luann Marie is now a student. Okay, perfect. Now we only have one person that needs their tools. Are you going to pick some up? Yes. Perfect, it's Hilarion. Let's watch him for a little bit. Going off to the market. And now gathering fuel? Why wouldn't you have just grabbed that at the vendor? Perfect. So he's just walking gently through town. Okay, so they can sneak through over there. I just can't place a path there, I don't think. And now going back to work. Okay, but it seems... Oh! What? What? Kinesi the laborer has died of a weak heart. What? You just became a laborer! Literally. In the same season. Okay, well, Kinesi the laborer has died of a weak heart. And we still have a couple of people that need tools. I wonder if Kimizi took the tools with them to the grave. I think literally just went and got their tools. You have to be kidding me. Oh, and there is a deer in our fields. Get out. Out. Where is our builder, actually? So it looks like we only have the hunting lodge being worked on, yes. The only problem that I have with this screen is that you can't cycle through people on it. You can only cycle through places. But it also doesn't make any sense to have all of the little screens open. So then you don't get to enjoy your little village. Let's see about a couple of different paths as well, just to make them faster. I don't want to do stone roads. Just never have enough. Okay, so there's some stone there. Don't really need any there. Let's look at some of the typical paths that they've been taking. Okay, you work there. Why do you go that way? Okay, I suppose this way is faster. Let's actually place a path then going this way. Mori has become an adult. Okay. Don't you also have a weak heart? Let's place some dirt roads over here. And since it seems like everybody keeps going through here, I just place one here anyway. I thought the only people that would sneak through here would be the people that live there, but I suppose not. Let's see some other typical paths. Okay, you do the same thing where you cut through. And you go this way. Can we put a path over there? Okay, and then you take that. Okay, a lot of them are actually taking the current roads. I suppose we could put a road straight through here. So let's do that. Let's put one going from the cemetery since everybody likes cutting through there. Perfect, and some trees are coming down as well. Johannan the fisherman is still around at 79 years old. How? I'm not even worried about your path. Let's see, your path goes there. You, for some reason, like skirting around through the trees, so they'll be you. Okay, you need a path. Oh. And Elsie has become an adult as well and is now a laborer. So now we actually should be able to put some of our vendors back. And you're just walking straight through the fields. I don't know how to help you. Let's see, can we place a path here? We can place it here, but it's not going to be able to go over the rest of that mountain. Oh, apparently that dirt road won't work. But we can do this. It's not going to be a great road, but it is still a road. And we'll place one there as well. Get our builder to do a couple of things. Perfect. So now we have Verlina, who's our forester. Who's chopping down some of the trees over here on this side. Perfect. And we do actually have some stone production. So perfect, between picking up all of this stone over here and the new resources that we can kill through. Oh, and Lynette has become a student as well. Perfect. 91%. Go ahead and start harvesting. We don't need that much. Perfect, so we're just keeping our current stock of food at this point. And thankfully nobody is coming into Town Hall, so it's actually better to have it off in the corner. I usually put it all the way out there, but having it there works too. A child named Their Leah was born. Perfect, so they have 3 children here. They also have 3 children. Also 3 children. And Patrice and Yvonne only have 1 child. Okay, so they had Elsie. Good, so hopefully Adis the forester and Joanna the fisherman should end up dying of old age here pretty soon. And we also need Edmundo and Francesca to clear out pretty soon. And then we should be able to have enough houses for our current population. I don't want to get too far ahead and just have 15 empty houses. Alright, with that, it is noon. I do have to go and get a couple of things done today, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to call it there. We are definitely getting somewhere, which is kind of nice, so let's go ahead and save over turkey. Yes. Perfect. So we will go ahead and pick this up. I will be back on Saturday. I don't usually stream on Fridays, and we do have to do some yard work tomorrow. If it ends up storming, maybe I'll try and hop on tomorrow, but we'll see. Otherwise, I will be here on Saturday. So let's go ahead and see who we can go over to. Let's see who's currently live. Let's see. So... Oh, and you guys have a good rest of your day, too. I'm sorry it was very short, but... Unfortunately, I have to go changing my name on a couple of different things, so... Let's go and take a look over at... you know what? We haven't rated Kasem before. Let's head over there. He does some art. It's a lot of fun seeing it, so... Let's go ahead and head over there, so I will see you guys on Saturday or potentially tomorrow. So just keep a lookout. And let's head over.